HoN getting things kicked off today. Of course, I'm Breaking CBK, joined, as I have been lately a lot, by the Emperor. How you doing again, buddy?
Doing great, Breaky. Excited for this game three, man. I got a lot. I have no one I'm really rooting for deep down on the inside here. I always try to remain neutral, but there's no one I'm really rooting for deep down here because both
Yeah,
sides are full of friends of mine.
of course,
So
of course.
I'm just
That's understandable. I mean, there's nothing.
I'm really excited to see this game.
Yeah,
Actually,
in the end, though, again, it's AL, of course, not only, you being friends with them, they are known as, again, even in our Honcast Awards that we did for 2012, they were actually voted the most entertaining team to watch because they just really are, with their picks, the play styles. It is a lot of fun, and no doubt a team with plenty of potential there. But here we are. Pencil's also a great team, as they've been proving lately. And, hell, even in that game number 2, fun strategy to watch, worked out beautifully,
yeah.
leading us to game number 3. And they have started, so we got to jump into it. Let's go ahead. Game number 3, AL taking on Pencils. Let's take a look.
Right on.
Okie dokie. AL on the Legion side, Pencils on the Hellborn side. Keeper the Force, Parasite, Ophelia, Fade. Going to be the blind ban. So Pencil's actually, they're the ones to blind ban that Fade here. Cookies obviously played it the first 2 games. Played it very well, even in the loss there in game 2. Don't want to deal with it here this 3rd game.
Yep. Well, I mean, Ophelia has done work every single game so far. I feel like teams are finally beginning to utilize the Ophelia draft a lot better now, running more early game dominant lineups, a lot of pushing power to sort of, synergize with her skill set instead of like running late game things like Silhouette, et cetera, with her. So I like that people are running Ophelia in that manner again. And yeah, not surprising to see her take over both games.
Mm-hmm. Bubbles the first lock, Plague Rider, Illuna. So far going to be the response here from Pencils. Again, it's an interesting thing to say. Oh boy. Anyways, of course, the great thing about these Haunter events too, especially when we're just getting kicked off with the cycles, like a day like today, of course. You got all these other matches taking place, so it's always fun, to keep an eye on, especially certain ones. Obviously, as I said, going into the break, TFR and TDM, they are in game number 3. Apparently, TDM does have a fairly comfortable lead in game number 3, but again, anything can happen. And then, of course, Mist over OTP. That was the other one I know a lot of people were looking at, including ourselves, and Mist to defeat OTP 2-0. And there's already a forum post about it, so I'll just say it. Tralfmador apparently did also leave the team, actually, after that loss. It's something along the lines of they just weren't getting along, I guess.
I see.
And, it wasn't working out. So he did have a quote. I don't have it in front of me right now, but it is on the forum, so you can check it out if you're interested. It's definitely unfortunate to hear that news, of course, especially with him being a good friend of mine. But hey, doesn't work out. I guess it doesn't work out. So a little bit of drama there, but it happens. There were other results. I don't have them in front of me though, but we'll talk about them obviously after this game. So
Right.
continuing on though.
Something interesting to note here: no lock of Tempest. I was going to say with the keeper banned out, with the Ophelia banned out. Once again, Tempest is one of the only power junglers sort of left in that pool. They're opting not to pick him up here. Both teams probably just not feeling comfortable after each team losing one game with him. So from here on out, we'll see a different style of play. Probably no junglers wind up being picked up. I don't expect to see a Legionnaire or War Beast or anything like that. So I expect a straight up lane action in this game, which always makes for a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely does. Bombardier at the final lock. That's always or he can prove to be an entertaining hero as well, at least in my mind, especially with that global presence. We see a lot of that, obviously, between Illuna, Ophelia, Master of Arms, Pharaoh, Bombardier, just another one of those heroes. Seems like they just bring a lot to the table, and more teams bringing them up. But yeah, Bombardier on the pool, so we'll see. Of course, Q Squad style has been known to play him, especially lately. But anyways, advancing on here, Pebbles, Wild Soul, Magnus, Jeruziah, Pharaoh, Moon Queen, the bands. First pick, Silhouette here, coming out for Absolute Legends. And if I'm not mistaken, that's exactly what they did the first game, too. So.
Yeah, and they're not really fearing against an engineer either. I know AL will always. I don't see them prioritize engineer as much as other teams. I don't know if that's just been a coincidence or what have you, but they always play against it very well. Usually, have very mobile laners, things like Silhouette, things like Hag, Bubbles, things that really don't fall prey to the engineer dual lane. So I think that's one way they mitigate the effectiveness a lot. But a Silhouette versus Draconis game. And I'm interested to see how Pencils plays this, because I don't think inherently, because you have Draconis, you need to play ultra passive as a team, but usually you see that route happen. I'm kind of curious to see what they wind up doing as far as the laning is concerned.
Well, The other thing with the Draconis to keep in mind, obviously every right-click carry, for the most part, they take advantage of the jungles at some point or another. It seems like Draconis, though, he really can take advantage of it right off the bat. But if you go a hero like Tempest, who may eventually, be that passive jungler here for Pencils, then that's something to keep in mind. If he's going to be taking up that jungle, that won't really give Draconis the option to perhaps go there earlier on, or not as effective at least. So,
There's something that sort of blows my mind for a sec, though, that I didn't quite follow. I noticed Cookies banned the Pharaoh, but Tempest was in the pool.
yeah. Oops.
And I was saying there's not going to be a Tempest in the pool because I'm like, oh, he's not going to make it through the banning phase and just get picked up for free. But
Yeah.
here you see it being picked up, obviously, like that by Pencils. There's a lot less of the mainstream counters to him still available. There's obviously Andromeda, other heroes as well, but, a lot less of the mainstream. No Pharaoh, that's a major one. Plague Rider can obviously still cancel that ulti as well. Still, one of the more powerful ultimates in combination with the AoE of Draconis.
Especially if it's a lot less ways to stop it as you're kind of getting at. So,
Yeah.
Hey, a hero that's actually really good at that we never see is Scout. That physical presence of the silence from his ward, the fact that he could put it down, and even with a Shrunken Head Tempest will jump in, it's like, nope, silenced. And,
Yep. Yeah, I've talked about that a bit on different games, and we still don't see it. I've actually been checking out a lot of the G Arena replays lately, monitoring some of the games between teams like Orange,
Yeah.
MMR, other teams as well, and I actually do see Scout picked up here and there. They actually
Really?
favor him a little bit higher. Yeah.
Well, when Lockpick first came out, remember that? TT Esports actually, or
Oh
no,
yeah.
it was, TT Esports. Slick specifically, I think it was, or maybe it was WTF at that time. But anyways, they actually played Scout quite a bit when Lockpick actually first came out too. So
Yeah.
I know that he had some changes with his third ability, the disarm kind of change. I know that's kind of a back and forth whether or not people like that.
Oh,
But
the disarm changes. Anytime you have an ability like that I think is made to be something predictable that you can sort of count on, it becomes infinitely stronger, in my opinion. That's why, in my opinion, Thunderclaw right now infinitely stronger than it used to be. You look at the math; it is
Exactly.
better. So I mean,
Yeah, that's the funny thing though. I mean, again, Troutfendor obviously he actually is the exact opposite. He loves that RNG.
I don't care, man.
So.
You look at the math. Your first 4 or 5 hits in a fight are going to be proccing things. That means out of your first 4 or 5 hits, it's almost a 50% chance to proc. You cannot tell me that's worse. I mean, you can count on it when you're going for a gank too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's arguable,
yeah.
but I just
Mathematically, it is better as you put it. So it's more so that do you value that RNG? But
I
anyways,
think it's sorry.
no, that's fine. We can bring on more, but I mean, how about this? How about these picks? So we do got some fun picks actually. I mean, Monkey King Nymphora. So finally, we mentioned this last game. AL seems like they haven't been taking advantage of this lately. Cookies plays a great Monkey King. He's really one of the first guy to kind of bring it onto the scene, especially. And sure enough, we're going to see that here, so that's definitely cool. Pairing up with Nymphora. Behemoth, the final pick from Pencil. Again, kind of another hero that's strong, no doubt, and very powerful in his own right, but we never really see him anymore nowadays. Picked up here by Pencils.
Funny to see Zephyro highlighting the chipper there in the Tundra. I don't even know what they're talking about on their side, but good to see the Behemoth. I'm actually curious if we're going to see a Bombardier draft here. Definitely I'm expecting Wretched Hag, I would say, and plus supporter. So no, they're not going to get the bomb. I don't think so.
They're probably going to have a farming Behemoth. I mean, the times, because I know Beacon for Complexity, he did that for a little bit lately. And he just seems like, if they pair him with a Luna,
Plague.
perhaps?
Okay. I thought they'd go, okay, they went Plague instead of Hag, so Plague of Luna. I was going to say Hag plus supporter, but yeah.
Well, the other thing to keep in mind, too, if there were any heroes left open to be a decent counter to Tempest, is Plague Rider. With his ultimate, he could still go through the Shrunken Head to stop it, obviously. So
very true, very true. And now, I mean, Tempest pretty much has that streamlined route, like, hey, I can go Shrunken Head this game. He might even opt to do it instead of the Portal Key route. He'll still probably do the PK route, but he could just go straight Shrunken Head, and he knows that anything he catches in that fight is going to get absolutely lit up by the Plague Rider and Draconis.
Yeah.
Also, Tempest, Plague Rider, a very powerful combination in of itself.
Oh, yeah. Hell, you throw a Behemoth and a Draconis in there.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It really is. So, Pencils definitely have a very strong lineup there, but so does Absolute Legends. And Absolute Legends lineup, it's definitely more of their style of lineup. And actually, with how they finish their picks, it looks like, are we going to see, we're going to, no, probably a 2-2-1, I guess. Okay. Who do you think is better for supporting a Monkey King, Nymphora or Engineer?
Oh, I think Nymphora might be a little bit more stable, but I think Mookie's Cookies combo
Mm-hmm.
uh, coming out.
That's pretty good.
Well, I mean, they have two solos. I mean, they have the silhouette and they have the bubbles. They could very much have an aggressive, sort of moving support squad here. So
My buttons are for
all of
some
those heroes are
reason.
very solo capable.
Mm-hmm. Why is... I'm having some troubles here. For some reason, I'm actually stuck on heroes, and I cannot get off of them. So, and I'm missing a kill right now. Plague Rider, he is going to get caught out, and he will fall. So the 5-man gang squad here from Absolute Legends actually will get credit for the kill, so
Yeah.
good job for them. Yeah, I have no clue what's going on, though. I'm going to go ahead and restart real quickly. So I'm going to see if that maybe just go ahead and rejoin, because something clearly is not working for me
Okay.
right there. So I'm just going to rejoin off one of the players real quickly, and hopefully that fixes it. Okay, it looks like it might have. Nope, it didn't. I might have to restart, actually, because for some
Okay.
reason my binding is being silly. That is so weird. Its lock camera isn't even on. Alright, just so, yeah, I'm going to go and restart if we want to actually go back to us on the cameras real quickly.
Yeah.
So everyone doesn't get to see my desktop and everything. There we go. Alright, look at our beautiful faces. Okay, gonna go to restart right here, and hopefully that is taken care of. So it looks
Yeah.
like
They paused for you, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I noticed, yeah.
they're just waiting up. Yep.
Kind individuals.
I think we're actually going to see. You're talking about who's better lane partner, but I think given the solos that we see on their team, we're actually going to see more probably an aggressive tri lane coming out. Now that I think about it, from the Monkey King Engineer and Nymphora. Obviously, then Nymphora with the mana steroid to Monkey King sort of takes away one of his only weaknesses in early game laning.
Yeah. So yeah, the aggressive again. I saw that too, but it seems like to me Monkey King isn't necessarily. Well, I don't know. It seems like kind of an odd trial lane almost to run with the Monkey King Engineer Nymphora. Is it necessary?
Yeah,
Is where I'm kind of getting at.
yeah, a little bit, but I mean, if they're on point with their spells, the Monkey King Flick should still be enough to set it up. And at least
Yeah.
one thing to note is they aren't going up against a blinking hero. Draconis does have that breath, but 900 range on the stun. I think played right, they'll definitely devastate anything Monkey King gets the flick on. That's a little bit odd, but you're not really looking at a tri-lane versus tri-lane matchup. They do have a Tempest in the Wood, so yeah, a little bit unconventional, but I think it'll work out. I think that's what they'll wind up going for.
Yeah.
We'll see, though.
Okay. I have no clue what's going on. I am honestly still stuck on heroes. I cannot move it.
Okay.
I've never had this happen before. That is
Did you
really
completely
weird.
quit out of HoN?
I did. I'm gonna actually go to my controls real quickly right here.
And then,
make sure that is all good on that side.
no, there's always the repair installation button as well in the options if it comes
I
to
would hope
it.
that I wouldn't have to do that.
I
but
know.
yeah, that is truly strange. I mean, my binding is actually I should be good. Yeah, I mean, this is deactivating the lock camera, but why is it locking? Oh, there, oh, nope. Okay, if I select two things, I'm able to move around. That is really weird. Huh. Why is this happening? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't want to delay these guys, much longer, obviously, as far as because it is getting to a point where the second round is supposed to be starting here. So, that is really strange. I'm gonna go ahead and no, but that shouldn't have an effect. Not going back to default controls necessarily. Let's just restore the controls real quickly. See if for some reason the lock camera was going off, so that shouldn't be an issue. I really hope it's just not something obvious that I'm missing right here. That would be silly. Let me rebind that real quick while I'm at it, but there we go. There we go. Yeah, you can go ahead. I'm just gonna let them know. Nope, that didn't work.
So you're still having problems connecting.
I honestly, I'm baffled because I've never had anything like this happen before.
Well, what is it exactly? Sticking on the hero select screen?
If I select multiple units, I can freely move around the camera. If I only have one unit selected, it just sticks on that hero. So it's very awkward.
Not really sure here. But I'll just, I guess I'll tell you guys what's going on while Breaky's getting that fixed. So try repair installation, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of. I have no other idea unless there's...
No, I know. It's...
Yeah, for sure.
The restart would take care of it.
Meanwhile, the lanes are shaping up here. Monkey King went back to the wall to heal after the first blood. It looks like he is going toward... Actually, yeah, Bubble's going to... Well, no, it's actually going to be Nymphora, Monkey King in middle. Engineer... Okay, Engineer was going top, and now he's moving back towards middle. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. Mookie's lagging behind, but it's sort of like a... Sort of looking like a Monkey, Nymphora, NG mid now.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them will rotate bottom, but I think Engineer's just going to roam around for a little bit, look for another gank angle here on mid, and then move. But they actually have a defensive ward placed by Bassett, so he'll be scouting Engineer out, make his job very difficult.
Okay.
So.
I mean, I am good to go. I haven't fixed it yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and kind of go with it. Like I said, if I select multiple, I can move around freely, so I'll just keep that in mind.
Cool.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, you're mentioning the Engineer kind of just freely roaming around right now. He will run past the ward of sight, so obviously nothing too sneaky going on here. And by all means, Pencils will spot him kind of hiding there, so they are playing very defensive. Behemoth is going to that farming route, as we kind of touched on too, so we'll see how much... how good he's able to do, obviously getting him that early portal key, although we don't really see it Behemoth too often. I mean...
and when we do breaky, it's a lot of times with that Nymphora in mid, and we haven't really seen that Sim Stream hack.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Obviously on the opposition here, so... Yeah, but then that sets up the bottom lane too. You got your Plague Rider against Silhouette, a classic matchup there really lately. You know, obviously Plague Rider gets some good lane control, especially with that ward of sight down block of the camp, but at the same time, Silhouette should manage to have some decent farm. But also remember, again, they had that Bloodlust kill to kick things off, despite my camera issues happening, on to Plague Rider. So no doubt that that's going to even help Silhouette, and already has a good... Trust me, I trust me when I say I know. I've casted many of HoN games. You know?
Oh, just a couple, though.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
Just a couple, yeah. I know, yeah. They're going to say...
Oh God!
Everyone's gonna act like they know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna act like they know. What
okay,
the
moving on.
How easy it is. Okay. Anywho. So yeah, but Plague Rider again, especially with that Bloodlust kill by King Plato, obviously setting himself up to be in a pretty good presence. But yeah, this middle lane, Engineer wasn't able to set up much. He actually does pick up the haste rune though, and is now gonna head towards the bottom lane. So it might just turn into that kind of 2-2-1 setup that myself at least I was expecting from the beginning. So
right
be happening here. Oh, actually Kexton will land, and actually now Plague Rider in some trouble. The auto attack's coming out from Silhouette. There's a tree grapple. The auto attack isn't going to be enough. Yes, it will. Plague Rider will fall again, and King Plato yet again getting credit for the kill. Obviously not the Bloodlust, because that did happen even before the HoN, remember. So even more farm on Silhouette now. Not a good thing for Pencils here.
Right. A little bit of HoN history here. Remember when Clan Milk was pulling a lot of upset victories against teams like Fnatic, other top-tier teams as well? It was with that Monkey King Engineer combo. Oh, meanwhile, Monkey King is leaping onto a Luna in middle. I'll let you take over, Breaky.
Yeah, no, Zeal Stun not going to hit, though, so we'll be fine. And that Fissure Stun, even though it didn't necessarily, stun Monkey King right there, it actually did block off Nymphora a little bit, made the awkward angle, and that's obviously what the Fissure Stun can do, so.
Right. We were going to say that when Clan Milk was pulling a lot of those upset victories, and even expected by some to potentially take that, I think it was the initial Destination DreamHack tourney they were looking very strong in before they fell short. They were actually rocking a lot of wins with that Monkey King Engineer combo.
Yeah. Middle lane, though, Nymphora falls right there. Monkey King going for the counter kill here onto a Luna. A couple more auto attacks, perhaps one more. No, the stun's from Tempest, and now Cookies, he's the one in trouble. Uphill. Yes, it will connect, and down he goes. Fine, actually picking up a double tap there, believe it or not, in the middle lane. So he comes out of perfect timing and ends up picking up the double tap. I will say, I was watching the whole time. I mean, Nymphora he had a beautiful Zeal Stun there to try to survive, but obviously it just wasn't enough. And shortly after, his teammate falls for nothing. So great comeback from Pencils right there, and just like that, they tied at two hero codes apiece now. and so making some positives play happen. But
Yeah, and that double kill, the timing of it, just the resource swing was pretty significant here for Pencils. No one soaking up any experience in the middle lane too, so now they are leading the way early on pretty heavily. Um, yeah, I was gonna say in team fights though, that Monkey King Engineer with that energy field down, flicking him in and out of it gives Monkey King a lot of space to sort of do his thing. So yeah, I'm excited to see it this game.
yeah. Monkey King in general, though, again, especially being played by Cookies, it's just that's such a fun player-hero combination to see. So that's the intriguing thing for me, definitely. Obviously, that death going to start slowing him down, but also the distance that he can jump. But I mean, you just look at Behemoth and Luna right here. They just know the threat of Monkey King, and even though he's a good distance away, how quickly he can close the gap on you, and then eventually get the kill. So that's something, especially Luna, is really keeping in mind, not wanting to deal with that. And then Fora actually managing to get an Archer over here, actually, and doing the yellow camp in the meantime, so it's attempting to.
Yeah.
Fun plays going on there. How is this top lane going? Draconis 18-7, Bubbles 10-9. So Draconis obviously winning the lane. It doesn't seem like his farm, though, is honestly the best.
Yeah, it's not, and Bubbles is actually, right now, I mean, he's got Draconis low. Regen is, I believe, flying out to him, hopefully. Yeah, Health Potion and Treater, so Relo getting a little bit of support there, but yeah, Presence holding in there.
Yeah. I'm going to have to chat disconnect there, as apparently they haven't fixed that bug yet. But yeah, Bubbles no doubt doing a good job, as actually, again, Draconis dropping fairly low, but...
Right, and he actually canceled a bit of the Health Potion as well there, so... Yeah, Present doing work, man. Now, if you had mana for both spells here, Tempest is shaping up. Draconis is going to do the bait, man. He's going to pull the bait on him.
Yeah, here we go. It's coming up. No, not yet.
Let's see.
Bubbles ain't falling for it. Is Bubbles going to go for
Luna's, I don't know, Luna, you don't need to be here. Just go back to your lane. Let them take care of it.
If anything, that's just more of a reason for him to fall back if she's spotted. Yeah. But there was no vision. I mean, so honestly, that just seems like pretty good heads up here. But in fact, there he goes now. Tempest is not here just yet. He has support coming in Engineer as well. The Kelphin is down. The turret on top of the Kexon hits and pushes them backwards, though. Bobbles ports in, gets a kill, but now here's Tempest, who does have an ultimate to use a power throw on top of that. Is going to finish off Bubbles. Tempest chasing, but Engineer going to be out of range. So it finally did happen, but Bubbles actually did get the kill first onto Draconis, of course. So.
Yeah, and excellent job by Bassett's actually backing up and then turning around and getting there just in time to snipe out the Bubbles.
Yeah. So at least though for Bubbles' sake, again getting the kill first, and Relo's farm again. It's not the best, unfortunately. Only 185 gold per minute currently, and especially compare that to the silhouette at the bottom lane. He was dominating 360 gold per minute. Of course, working off the 2 hero kills on top of that. Ghost Marchers just delivered to Cookies here. So playing the Monkey King, of course, so even more of a threat coming out as far as being able to close that gap. And Behemoth does continue to play very passive. And you see right there, Ghost Marcher's used, and Behemoth just immediately just falling backwards. Again, just knows the potential. Here we go with Tempest, though, to block someone in the front. I don't know if the finish one actually hit him. Ultimate could have been used on top of that. Wow, Micey will get disintegrated there. Maybe a little bit of overkill, but nonetheless getting the kill. Yeah, I don't know if the Fidget Stone actually did the damage, though. Seemed like it might have been a little bit too far off. If anything, it just was setting up for the block.
Right.
But they get the kill.
Yeah.
It was very close.
There was one other piece of info coming in here where people are saying there's a lock camera option. But
I know, and if people have been watching, they should know that I've definitely been.
Okay, well, all right. I'm not going to refer anything else to you. Sorry about that. I was just.
I understand. People will want to help, obviously.
But so many backseat drivers, right?
I know, exactly.
You're trying your best. Okay.
Computer plugged in. Are you sure? Yeah.
Look at Engineer's positioning here, though. Draconis doesn't seem privy to it, and Bubbles, his ulti, is back up. Mookie's also one of the people that sort of brought Engineer to popularity again back with Clan Milk, but yeah, he is backing off here. Oof. Maybe looking to roam a little bit back towards the mid lane. Hopefully he doesn't get scouted out by Tempest, man. It's a nice ward set up here by Bassett's.
Yeah. So just doing a little bit of roam back and forth. Actually, Engineer might get spotted out here. Bubbles going to initiate first, though. Actually, with the Kelphin once again on a reload. Tempest is here, though. The Tempest ultimate coming out. Draconis here now over the assistance. No Cataclysmic Assault, of course, but the Dragonflight going to be used. He knows, though, he's still in a little bit of trouble. Engineer trying to chase him down. Engineer will fall. Bubbles going the other direction. Aggravating the creep wave is going to be spotted here, of course, with the Homecoming Stone, though. Shell surfing away and should, by the distance, to port out. Yes, he will be fine. So. That does work out better, though, in the end, of course, for the Hellborn team. So good job from Pencils, obviously being where they were. And, well, Obviously, Bubbles and Engineer not really knowing where Tempest was. Good ultimate by him, though.
Yeah, very good ulti. Draconis was not able to like roast them in his blazing flight there, but did still put out a lot of damage. Very nice timing there coming out from Fine. So.
Ooh, the turret pushing or slowing down Behemoth a little bit right there, but obviously Behemoth is gonna. Oh god, really? It's gonna start that. Anyways,
there's no escape,
there's
man.
no escape. God, just hit V, man.
No escape.
It's just hit V. It's that easy.
That's
man.
all you gotta do, Breaky. Just it's that easy. I feel like that's gonna become a thing now. Where
it is.
Just,
it is.
Oh,
and
God,
that's how things like this start.
Okay. So.
Anyways, Behemoth does survive there. That was actually very close to death for him, but he does get away and actually ports back in to continue to farm. But again, his farm, it's across the board, isn't looking the best here for the L1 team, other than Tempest. Tempest, including, of course, helping at the top lane. He's actually been doing a great job. Fine, obviously setting up plenty of ganks. He has 3-0-2. Holy crap. So he's been involved in all 5 kills, too.
You know, we used to see Behemoth Plague Rider a lot back in the old days of HoN, too, now that I think about it. And, just with the ulti synergies, obviously one clears the creep waves, provides the stun to lockdown, the other one just goes to town. So, yeah, a lot of like ulti synergy coming out here from Hellborn. More just extreme gank potential coming out from Legion.
Yeah. Oh, Monkey King going to be caught down right here. The Behemoth ultimate even on top of that shockwave, and down he falls. So didn't want to give him any chance to get away again. That definitely makes sense as a result of that shockwave, and gets the kill. So Tempest again, man. 3-0-3. Fine really is playing an aggressive Tempest here, and it is working out great for Pencils. They now have a 6-3 hero kill lead. They're going to finish off this Ballista here in the middle lane, and they're going to push this middle tower. And Enforce obviously nearby, going to throw that Zeal stun, try to distract it, but also level 10 Tempest on top of the farm that he has. Again, he's having a huge impact in this game so far. The Ghost Marchers, Ring of Sorcery, Behemoth Fidget Stun coming out. They just want to clear up the creep wave, and going to now pressure this tower even more. Obviously, ports are coming in though. This Monkey King, look at him trying to jump around, wants to get close to Aluna, but no, the Tempest stun comes out, and Aluna will be fine. So good assistance from Pencils right there.
Yeah, I'm curious to see when AL is going to force their first major tower push, pushing against Behemoth Aluna combination. It's notorious for the counter push, man, and the long range damage. So it's definitely going to prove to be a nightmare here. Luckily, they do have Nymphora, but she's not exactly a high level right now. She doesn't have her heal, so they got to be really careful, man. That's so much damage that Pencils can basically put out with basically no threat of response. So
yeah, Engineer diving in there with barely into life actually, just to get a turret down. That didn't even do too much, so I'm interested about that. But Monkey King now joining the party, wants to chase in Aluna, will get his combo off somewhat. Wanjin slows down, but no, Aluna avoids it, and it's going to be fine. So Cookie's not able to get the kill, and this isn't your typical Cookie's Monkey King that we expect to see.
No, meanwhile, bottom, Silhouette was trying to man up a little bit on Plague Rider. Tempest strolled right on in, laid down the ulti, followed by the Plague Carrier. They weren't really hesitating. They said, hey, it's worth it. Free kill on Silhouette, we'll take it. So.
Yeah, that worked out great, obviously, here for the Hellborn team. Oh my god, no, man. Thought I may have fixed it for a second.
One of the best things I think about these competitive games being casted is when it came to Tempest, it sort of destroyed the myth of, oh, I shouldn't use my ulti, it's only one hero. Yeah. Man, if it's the early game, use that cooldown, get a pick off on the important hero, get the resource advantage in your favor, and then go for the huge ultis later on.
Exactly, yeah. Everyone, the dream of the Tempest player is to get that 5-minute ultimate, setting everything up, but it's, getting at least the one kill early on, as you said, get the resources, and works out very well for your team. So, and again, fine, just continuing to play. And normally with Tempest, he's considered just a very passive jungler in a sense. Gets the Ring of Sorcery, may start pushing with the team, or may use the ultimate there, set up kills. But he's been aggressive all throughout this game so far, and it's paying off here for the Hellborn team. Bottom tower will fall now in favor of Silhouette, and her farm, despite that death, obviously continues to be up there at a 351 gold per minute. Has that Steam Boost, Sustainer combination, so well on the way to the Nullstone. But this is also buying time for Draconis to kind of recover. Granted, he still isn't the most impressive up here. Only around 251 gold per minute, so still continuing to hurt. Nymphora porting in though off to the side with Engineer, actually. I was expecting something like a Monkey King, but just trying to set up. They are going to catch Aluna right here. Bassett's will eventually fall, so it does end up in a kill at least.
Tempest, though, it's a dangerous game to see Tempest doing this well, actually leading his team in the gold chart, because as we talked about, Tempest in terms of opposition coming out here from Legion, not much to really stop those big ultis. Once he gets that shrunken head combo, so if he power farms, gets it up, before the Legion team can really get too powerful, just the amount of AoE coming out from the Hellborn team. With an uncontrollable Tempest ulti, I think it'll just be really difficult for AL to handle.
Yeah, it definitely goes back to that thing we really both of us saw there in that lockpicking stage, really throughout it all even. So we'll see how Absolute Legends is going to be able to deal with that once it inevitably happens, of course. Monkey King with the Invis Rune is going to try to find a big... Oh, he finds Tempest, but he does have support nearby at the same time in Draconis. May just go for Draconis instead. Yes, he'll put out the combination. The Wand Gem Slam landing perfectly, but Tempest is there to deny him. Does he get an ultimate? No, he's not, actually. Tempest's ultimate is not off cooldown just yet, but Draconis does get picked off, as we see in the end. But now the chase is on as Monkey King trying to get away right here. As Bubbles gets caught out by Behemoth and Tempest, though, chasing him down, so I'm going to seek in the silence step for now. But there's the shockwave from Behemoth. The power throw going to miss, actually, though. Tempest will portal key in, though, and down goes Bubbles. So obviously, Tempest now having his portal key. Big news there for the Hellborn team. And they get Monkey King scared off. So again, they take out Draconis, but Tempest continuing to make big plays here and overtaken as the top farm of the game. Monkey King is obviously picking up a Mighty Blade here, so... Interested to see again. This usually we're so used to seeing this aggressive Monkey King coming out, especially from Cookies. But for now, it seems like hasn't had the biggest impact that we're used to seeing, perhaps. And but his farm 330 gold per minute is definitely having an impact there, and is actually working on finishing his Shrunken Head. It looks like as his go-to item, actually. So.
Yeah. Well, he definitely needs it. You've seen Monkey King's having a really hard time moving around this game with long-range fissures, with the lockdown. Even that Tempest Glacial Blast, it seems to last forever. When you're a hero that relies on mobility like Monkey King, that lockdown is a nightmare. So, yeah, it's a game where he does need that Shrunken Head, or else he's just not going to be able to get around those fights.
Oh, he's going to be in trouble right here. The Tempest Ultimate! This is what you're talking about. One-man Tempest Ultimate is going to set up a kill, though, most likely. Oh, man, he really survived the final auto attack. Yes, it is going to go out. Oh, Tempest turned around at the last second. I thought that might have been the saving grace for him, but they get him in the end.
Yeah.
Even despite a kill field. God, that was close. God, that was close. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and ignore him. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes, indeed.
Anyways. So, yeah, that was very, very close right there, though. To the turnaround, but just not enough.
Now, we see here Draconis not actually, I don't think it's actually a problem that he's not having the best farm of his life. It is Draconis, after all. His farming potential is immense. He can pick up, and I think the team fight they have does sort of compensate for it here. So in spite of Silhouette, sort of leading the game in terms of carries in their GPM, it doesn't mean that much to me when I look at the stats.
Yeah, that's true, and I mean, it kind of goes back to what I brought up earlier, how they picked up Tempest with the Draconis, who might hurt his jungling presence, and maybe that is what's impacting his slower start here. But yeah, as you put it, by all means, Tempest is definitely, or Draconis is definitely a hero that can recover and most likely will. Once again, Tempest jumping in though, setting up the Sun Snow, the shell support just in time though. I didn't know if that was going to be able to go off. Meanwhile, the bottom lane Plague Water actually getting gone on down here. Energy Filler to use. See Silhouette and N4 also down here, obviously, and they do get the kill. And N4 actually did pour it in, so guessing actually with Engineer. So that's kind of been the murderous Moppets here, that ganking squad coming out.
Yeah, for sure.
Them too. But top lane, it's going to be pushed, and it should be successful here for Pencils. So more good news for
Nullstone almost be picked up here by King Plato, and he's definitely a Silhouette player you always see sort of go the prescribed build of the Nullstone, the PK, and he plays it very, very well. I've actually been really impressed with King Plato, and specifically his Silhouette play in most of Bale's matches. So.
Yeah, as he's taking a little bit of the tower right there, but pushing this bottom lane, obviously, with Nymphora. Going to use that Tree Grapple for the Relentless Salvo buff. Hellborn team, though, they're definitely going to, I would assume, going to start reacting to this here in the near future. In fact, there we go. There's one TP in, another TP, but Silhouette and Nymphora are already on the run, and they will be more than fine. So the tower takes plenty of damage, staying alive, of course, not in deny range just yet, but good defense put up there. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, though, Monkey King able to push that middle tower, saving up more and more gold, now 2,400, so getting closer to that Shrunken Head of his. And that Nullstone just finished, as you were talking about, onto Silhouette now, as a result of the push that they had going right there. How's that Portal Key? Oh, Portal Key is up on Behemoth. I was going to wonder how that was coming along, but he has that now.
Yeah, I would actually like to see them try to fight sooner than later once Monkey King gets his shrunken, because honestly, the later this game goes on, I know they have Monkey King and a Silhouette, but I like the team fight enough on Hellborn
Hmm.
to where I feel like you just don't want to go very late against them. I mean, yeah, once again, they do have two scaling options, but I'd rather see them take advantage of an earlier shrunken head while they might not have the tools to deal with it just yet. So I think they should try to apply that pressure as soon as possible.
Yeah. Now they're going to actually steal the double stack Ancients over here on the Legion side. Monkey King was doing them, but they jump in as soon as he falls back and take advantage of that. So some stolen farm, and actually a 6,000 experience lead over here for Pencil. So that's definitely something to look at too. And again, Draconis, he is slowly but surely recovering. 290 gold per minute now. So starting to move up there, working on his sustainer, of course. Underneath that Blessed Orb and then the pattern on top of that. But ooh, stacking the Ancients here. I believe they should be successful. Yes, they are. So those are now triple stack Ancients here on the Hellborn side as well. But, you know, will Pencils agree with you? Will they start grouping up here and maybe really start to make these pushes happen? It looks like that is going to definitely be the case here. We got Tempest, Plague Rider, and Behemoth all grouping up here at the bottom lane. Draconis is in the meantime doing those triple stack Ancients, but at least the three are here. You look at Behemoth, he's still sitting back. He's not level 11 just yet, so won't have the level 2 Shockwave, but has a level 1 version of it. And still will bring plenty to the table. Whether or not this push continues, it looks like it is going to for now. Yeah. As the minions are replicated, and they're going to start putting out the damage. Not going to full go into this, though.
Yeah, Monkey, they can definitely keep pressuring this. Monkey won't be there yet because he does have that Shrunken Recipe coming to him. There's no way he's in a TP without that in hand. So for now, they're safe to keep pressuring.
Oh, well, there you go. They keep the pressure up, and sure enough, get a kill right there onto Mookies. Playing the Engineer, and actually now 4 needs to be careful now. She's by herself. Unless she gets some TPs in here, she's going to be in some trouble. There's the TPs, though, and Behemoth's like, see ya. Haster going to be activated. He's out of there. Calfield catches 2 heroes, actually. This could be huge right now for the Legion team. Plague is alive. The Tempest ultimate pulling in. Monkey King. Silhouette also locked in off to the side. And yes, they will get the kill to Monkey King. Silhouette splitting up right there and running away. That haste of Behemoth still on haste, finally wearing off. He's still, oh no, he did use his ultimate right there. Behemoth will catch the Silhouette right there. Pablo McDad actually on the Plague Rider, getting credit for the kill. And the teamwork coming out beautifully there for Pencils.
Yeah, I was going to say, Pablo burned. I was like, okay, play carry. Those heroes are going to evaporate. And then he just burned it on Silhouette. And then not really a big deal, though, because right then and there you saw Behemoth. Beautiful positioning that fight, how he got out of the away from the tower, got into the woods there, hid until the right moment. He just exploded the Legion team. So, yeah, Mr. Zepro running the train right there, that fight.
Yeah, I love Behemoth, man. Out of all these heroes that, you know, initiate fights and just start it all off, and it's just such, as a Behemoth player, you know, it's just such a satisfactory moment to get in there with a Shockwave. Anyways, here we go once again. Engineer now going to be locked down. He'll be taken out. Couldn't even get off the energy field right there. Plague Rider's on the run, as is the rest of the team, of course. Monkey King actually going to catch him. Wanjin Slam not going to hit, though. Shrunken Head on the Monkey King. Still chasing. Is he going to pursue for long, though? Behemoth is here. Is he going to fissure? Yes, he wants the last second. Doesn't catch Monkey King, though. Will lock down Bubbles, but there's the combo from Monkey King. Runs into Tempest, though. He takes the Glacial Blast. But Bubbles will ultimately finish off Plague Rider, and that'll be that, it looks like. So at least they get the 1 pick right there. But the thing to keep in mind, I mean, while this is all happening, Draconis is just farming here in this top lane and the jungle, and look at that all of a sudden. He now has 380 gold per minute, actually. So
yeah,
what's going on?
We're seeing this game, like what sort of happens with Monkey King sometimes, is he's needing to chase quite a long time in order to get his damage off, and by the time he's able to do it, it seems like Hellborn's able to respond. So you see where the power of like extreme bursty heroes like Deadwood that just provides a straight up lockdown, straight up burst can come in. Not to say Monkey King is bad, but in this kind of setup where they actually had the jungle support from Tempest as well, assisting the dual lane, Monkey King was not able to have the lane presence he wanted, and as such, it's sort of, you know, tapering off his performance, even though he's sitting at 300 GPM.
Yeah, you're right. And again, I'm a little bit surprised at that, just simply because we're just so used to seeing it. That's why we've been stressing at the last game. I haven't seen the Monkey King cookies in a long time, but you know, when you did pick it up, and it always just provides so much action for the team. It seems like, but yeah, the game, the way that it's being played, and you're right, that the fact that he's able to get kited because of this Hellborn team, it is hurting him. 0-4-3 here. Again, the farm is definitely there, 323 gold per minute, but his involvement isn't necessarily. So Draconis, he's actually going he does pick up a Helm of the Victim here, so not going to be going the Shrunken Head route, it looks like. As there we go with the Hungry Spirit purchase, so finishing a Whispering Helm here. I mean, what do you make of that? You like that?
Well, I mean, honestly, look, the Hellborn team doesn't have, once again, that blink instant KO kind of hero. You can sort of see Monkey coming, so I think he can just rely on his positioning here, sitting behind Tempest, and he'd rather just having the farming tool right now. I don't think he needs that super quick shrunk in this game, like he might against some other lineups. You just don't see it coming out of Legion, so.
Yeah. Hellborn team is going to start pushing here. Energizer, by the way, on Bassets. I believe he's out there for a little bit. I noticed it, but just mentioning it now. Oh, the Comet clearing out the trees. Engineer vulnerable as a result. He's on the run. Illuminastar coming out. There's that fissure block. That power throw on top. Nymphora heal. They're going to happen now. Silhouette in reaction. But here comes Draconis. No Cataclysmic Assault by any means just yet, of course. So he's going to start falling back. But they are grouped up as a team now. And again, this is a dangerous team fight team here.
The Shrunken Head on Tempest, too, man. He's got it.
Oh,
he's got it. He's looking for the spot there.
Yeah, that is huge. Again, keep stressing that. It's going to be a free ultimate, so.
We didn't have Plague Rider last fight either. I mean, we did, but obviously his ulti was burned on the Nullstone.
The oopsie. So.
Sort of a dark forecast coming out here for this fight for AL, but you know, anything is possible. They might be able to make this work.
Yeah, you know, I think it starts with them getting the jump first and getting a quick burst on somebody, perhaps, but or just not.
They have so much cover potential, though. They have the Plague Rider, they have the Behemoth, they have the Tempest. It's just that's what makes it hard. It's like, who do they actually jump?
It is hard, and they're thinking about it again. Will they actually go into the question at this point? Draconis gets trapped a little bit. Silhouette running up, but nothing really to follow. So going to clean up one more creep wave here, and then most likely finish off the tower. It's again whether or not Absolute Legends wants to choose to defend this. Bubbles. Nope, not going to go in. Behemoth's a screwed up ton of waiting. Shockwave in. There's the Tempest ultimate against her, including Monkey King. The Shrunken Head is up, but he's going to start this right here. He needs to be careful. He's going to start running away. The Wand Gym Slam is down. He kites over it. He will be fine, but Silhouette and Bubbles, they're on the run. Bubbles going to shell surf away, but Behemoth follows, tries to stop. The Tempest stuns, though, will hit, and Bubbles should fall in the end. Yes, he will. Monkey King and Silhouette, again, they just fell back right there. Great initiation from Behemoth and the follow-up from Tempest. Again, the team fight is just so strong for Pencils here.
Yeah, and Monkey King really needs to get up and in there in order to do his damage, and with that Tempest Elemental Void going off, he just can't. There's nothing he can do.
Yeah, it's a tough game for Cookie's Monkey King, that's for sure. And we're seeing more and more of that as this game progresses. And that's the unfortunate, it's just not going to get easier. You can have all the farm in the world. It's not going to get easier with that said. So it's a tough spot now for Absolute Legends. This is game number 3 to Pencils here in the round of 16. Of course, the Diamond Division HoN Tour cycle number 6. And they're on the verge, Absolute Legends is, of perhaps getting knocked down to the losers bracket if they don't find something to put together here, because Draconis, at the ugly start that he had, especially with his farm, he is definitely recovered as expected, and he's just going to start rocketing as he does at this point. So,
yeah, and we talked about his potential to catch up, and how even if he was lagging behind Silhouette in his farm, his synergy with the rest of the heroes would just be enough. And sure enough, he does have that farm we were looking for, farming a triple stack of Ancients here, about to go up to 450 GPM.
Yeah. How about, again, there isn't a 4 on this side for Absolute Legends. Would you maybe have liked to see them use that more? Do you think they used it enough? Or
I didn't feel like they had the angles. Like, I felt like there was enough pressure. They were sort of clumping up enough. Yeah, I would have liked it, but I just didn't feel like this is the game for it. They sort of had an awkward team where they didn't really... I just don't feel like they have a lot of follow-up. Like, they have all these cool heroes, but I don't feel like they have a sole way to, like, put it together. So, yeah, it's just...
Yeah, definitely.
It's a little bit weak, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Again, the couple of times I have seen it, it seems like it's been with Engineer, and it actually did set up some kills, so it's not like, again, it's been absolutely ignoring it, but, yeah, maybe not able to get the maximum use out of it, of course. Plague Rider trying to bait something out up here. You got Behemoth, of course, just next to him, but no one's going to fall for that. And Plague Rider will just freely farm. Speaking of Plague Rider, I mean, look at his items here. He does have a Sacrificial Stone, the Astrolabe, the Steam Boots. He actually has a Ring Mail picked up, so well, it could even be a Soul Forward.
Armor has the Bane of Monkey King as well, man.
Yep.
That's it. With that Sac Stone item added, too, it's even easier to get more and more armor. That's... I guess you could say that about any physical hero, though, but still.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that Plague Rider is looking thick, though.
That yes, the armor that he applies himself to and to his teammates, obviously.
Yeah.
Annoying for Monkey King, and of course that Silhouette to deal with, who does have a portal key now, by the way. Oh, she's had that. What am I saying? Yeah, she definitely has had that for a little bit. 2,200 more gold saved up on her, so she's continuing to farm in the jungle. Monkey King, that's an illusion over there. Okay, so never mind. So he is back at base. The Hellborn team finding the illusion, though, and they are roaming through the Legion jungle, of course. As Firebrand, by the way, picked up in Draconis, too. So, yeah, he's not even interested in going the Shrunken Head at this point. But, you know, like you were talking about earlier, it's honestly not even that necessary this game for him. So, you know, it makes sense as to why he's not. So he's going to catch off.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing he really needs to protect himself from right now, because even if they were to jump him, they're not going to kill him before he receives protection, so.
Yep, and he's going to finish out the creep wave here. It looks like the Hellborn team might be grouping up to push this bottom lane. Again, it's definitely a mix of they don't necessarily need to absolutely push here, but at the same time, they do got the power for it, so it's really that decision timing of, do you want to just take the advantage, or do you just want to get further ahead at this case? At this rate. But obviously getting further ahead can also risk them, the opposition, getting picks here and there, or on top of also getting more and bigger items themselves. Slayer, by the way, with that set on Silhouette, so working on a Savage Mace, and then Monkey King going the Soul's Bulwark here, so they are at least getting stuff over here on the Legion side. And actually, Hellflower's in the works for Bubbles. Of course, it's always good.
Oh, Hellflower provides a little bit of a window here, that is true. If anything, and maybe with the Savage Mace pickup, they can mitigate a little bit of Tempest's effectiveness, but he is already well on his way to that Refresher Orb, so
yeah,
I don't know. I want to see this angle. It's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, I honestly I'm really impressed with how Pencil's drafted this game.
Yeah.
Especially for the lineup they're facing. I think it all comes down to how they were able to grab that Tempest for free. Pharaoh was banned out. They didn't really pick up any Tempest counters. It was really strange to see, honestly.
Silhouette, yeah, she's going to be stunned. Can she port out in time? Of course she can. They didn't really go for the most follow-up there, and she will survive. So, yeah, they knew that, of course, she was ready to port out. Just wanted to bait that, if anything. And that they do. But, obviously, Draconis, a token of life here. Again, usually you see the teams wait till maybe about 3 minutes or so, and then they really try to push the fact. But, again, why not? Why wait? Why not just do it now? They got a Geometer's Bane just finished on Draconis. They have their other items that they've been looking for, I'm sure. Why not just push now? And that's exactly what they're going to do, at least somewhat. Bubbles counter-pushing a little bit in the top lane as Monkey King will actually join him. So they might get a tower in exchange for this, depending how quick a reaction we see here from the Hellborn side. Nope, it's going to fall. But they also do get that middle secondary tower again. Will they push down to the base is the question.
Yeah, they're definitely just that's why they're here. I think that's why they're okay with sacking it, knowing that they're going to go hard for this push here. They have the token on Draconis. I mean, they have everything. So
again, it's just a case of why the hell not with everything that's added up. So looks like they are interested in that. Everyone on the Legion team is currently back at their base. So of course, Absolute Legends, they are ready to fight this, but Tempest is that glaring spotlight here for the Hellborn team, where again that free reign of his ultimate with that shrunken head up.
Yeah.
As he's just going to sit comfortably in the background and wait
also,
for that
they have buybacks on Monkey King and Silhouette. If they commit too hard to jumping them in their base, they could actually wind up losing this fight.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be still pretty hard with this token on Draconis. But right now, a lot of AoE coming out. Not really able to pierce the base, not really getting any damage on it. They don't really have that Savage Mace pickup on Draconis either for sieging the tower. No Wingbow either for taking its damage. So they might be content to sit back and farm a little bit longer for the extent of the token.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it's just, why not? It goes back to...
Well, why not? And I actually think it'll help them push base a lot right now, because you really saw there they gained no ground on the tower.
Yeah, that's true. The creep clearing obviously pretty strong here on the Legion side, as it is for most lineups, really. Especially nowadays.
Yeah,
but this will buy more and more time, obviously, for AL to try to get things themselves, including that Savage Mace, perhaps, on Silhouette, and maybe even Demonic Breastplate here on Monkey. I will say Tablet Command, of course, very important here on the Legion side, knowing that you can't really stop that Tempest Ultimate. At least help people get out of it. But Engineer is in the works of one. Silhouette porting aggressively here, but she'll actually port out. I think she might have spotted the Luna off to the side, so not going to take any risks there. Just wanted to stay alive. So, again, game number 3 here. There was a pick all the way down here. As we do see Behemoth and I believe that was Tempest combining for a kill. And speaking of them too, they're going to join up with Plague Rider down here. Actually, look to go for more, perhaps. Just keep the lanes pushed, the bottom, the middle, and even the top if you can. But yeah, at least getting 2 to the 3 lanes pushed up in your favor.
Yeah, more of the walking armor bot there with Plague Rider with the Bulwark finished up, set to positive right now as well. You know, they could be looking maybe a Barrier Idol, but there's not like an extreme amount of magic damage coming out of the Legion team. But it would still mitigate what they do have to offer, make pushing a little bit easier. Right now, I'd like to see them push before Bubbles gets his Hellflower up, and maybe if they notice that Plato finishes up his Savage Mace, which he hasn't yet, he'll have no buyback, and maybe they'll see that's their window. Oh, hey, we can go in now. He won't have buyback. This is our chance. So
yeah, that's true too. So we'll see when Plato, if he decides to go right for it, if maybe even pulls up more gold.
he might.
To go for the safer option. Hellflower finish on Bubbles again. Obviously, a big pick up there for AL. And gives them some fighting power against Pencils, of course, and some initiation factor on top of that. But more grouping up down here at the bottom lane as, Draconis, never mind, that's an illusion. Draconis, does he have anything new, by the way? No, he does not. There's a Savage Mace purchase, though, on Silhouette, so Draconis has 240 remaining on the Token Alive. So yeah, it seems like this is coming together here pretty nicely for Pencils. Going to group up here at the bottom. They got a little bit of a middle push going, although Cookies is somewhat clearing that out. But again, Savage Mace just purchased. Whether or not the Hellboy team spots that and knows that she won't have a buyback. Of course, going to start pushing into the base. Obviously, Draconis no Savage Mace himself, so...
Yeah, look at the difference that makes too, man.
Yeah, it does.
Substantial for sure. So I definitely would like to see him pick it up. And they're actually going against a harder push now than they were when they were pushing mid just before. So...
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of misses coming out right there.
Yeah, and you know, the Hellflower's picked up once again. The Savages picked up. You know, Cookie's pulling up a lot of gold. He still has 2 buybacks, and he could use both of them if he wants.
If it's necessary. Behemoth jumps in, though. Nemphora doesn't get the Zeal Sun off. The Shrunken Head's going off to Silhouette in the meantime in the foreground. Nemphora survives, actually, and now Pencils is going to fall back. Tempest Ultimate going to go off, though. That's 1 of 2, remember. He does have the Restoration Zone. In comes Draconis. Cataclysmic Assault is not used just yet, actually. He has a Token Alive. Of course, Monkey King Thunder Run. Engineer will fall, but the Hellboy team's trying to drop. The Tempest Ultimate again. No, but he falls shortly after. And now Aluna's on the run. Draconis with that Cataclysmic Assault, of course, doing damage. But he is the only one left, actually. Will end up falling. Token Alive going to bring it back up, but can he actually get away? Probably not. He's going to be locked down, and Draconis will fall once again. Oh, Pencils. They forced that way too much.
Breaky. Now if they want, they have a 150-second window here where they can try to make something happen. I mean, they're honestly not that far behind as long as Tempest Ultimates are down. Plague Rider didn't even get his ultimate off. I mean, wow. I actually didn't see how he got locked down, but one of the biggest things that happened that fight, King Plato on Silhouette actually swapped 1 second before the Tempest Ultimate came out, so he didn't get caught by it. His illusion did. He was just fine, and that was a big part of it. On top of the fact that Nemphora didn't even die from the initiation. I mean, that seemed way too forced. We talked about how they were going up against a harder push, but they still had a substantially stronger team, and... lack of patience there.
Yep, that's the biggest key. Exactly. It really comes down to that. Like I said, the forced initiation. That's really what the best you can say about Pencils and their decision making there. That they went. You were even pointing that out. How if they overextended, perhaps then. Yeah. That's kind of what
they could have went back and farmed for the Savage Mace and just waited. Yeah, it's not as fun for the viewers, but you know what? You're playing to win.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Exactly. So. Well, Pencil's still in the lead, I mean, in the gold and experience, but no doubt that's definitely a turnaround point for Absolute Legends, and something we can look at at the end of this game, perhaps, and be like, well, that's where it turned around for AL, and that's how they were able to win it in the end. So, Silhouette, she actually overtakes as the top farm of the game, and she does, obviously has now 1,400 gold saved up. Did she purchase? Okay, she did purchase the Whispering Helm, that's right. I thought she purchased something. 6,000 gold now saved up on Monkey King, by the way, so it's getting a little bit up there as far as what he's going to go. Something we see. Oh,
there you go.
Nice, Brand. Interesting. We talk about how he gets kited somewhat.
Yeah.
That could help.
He's going straight for the Frostwolf skull, man.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Well, it's one of those mixed items. It helps with the survivability quite a bit, but it also does apply a really good effect, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I'm torn whether I like it or not. I mean, I think I like it. I want to say, like, oh, Silhouette's farmed up enough, they'll be able to chase forever here. They're not getting away from this Monkey King now, but the other part of me is worried that he's just going to blow up anyway if he gets caught. So, but he has the shrunken. He does have the shrunken. Intelligent usage of it. It still has, what's his duration on now? 7 seconds. So, you know, hey, I've actually never seen him go this route before.
Yeah. It is
Definitely
a little strange. Actually, Draconis getting caught up here, but we'll be fine to Silhouette. Yeah, that's definitely where I'm coming from, too. It seems like, what we see a lot lately, especially at Hull, we saw yesterday, was an assassin tried into Genjiro, actually.
But, with this kind of game, he's going up against a giant AoE ultis. I don't think he wants to just be assassin, just get caught in it, blown up. Not really able to enter the fight with that Restoration Stone Tempest anyway, so probably just figures the survivability, the increased density is better for him, so.
Yep. Yeah, and I could definitely see that argument, for sure, so. Well, the game continues, and now it's almost a tougher place for Pencils where, what do they do now? Do they just ultimately wait for the next Conqueror? Obviously, that Savage Mace you keep looking back at for Draconis, and at least waiting for that, perhaps. But Conqueror should be up in the next minute or so, I believe. I believe it's coming to that point. So perhaps, that and then the Savage Mace, and of course, on the HoN side as well as the positioning you have. Good for them. But the gold advantage, I mean, it's gone now. And in fact, it's even slightly in favor of AL, believe it or not. And obviously, on top of that, the experience advantage has also gone down a lot. It's about only a 2,300 difference now, 40 minutes into this game. So,
I think
Legends really coming back here.
Yeah, I think they need that Savage on Draconis, and I think they still should be confident with their team. But AL definitely back in the game. I've stressed the point enough that I do think the team fight on Hellborn is strong enough to sort of take them this game. But yeah, I need to see that confidence. I need to see that Savage Mace picked up on Dragon, and we'll go from there.
Well, pushing a little bit at the bottom lane again doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to go for the base. Just if anything, keeping the creep lane pushed up and maybe try to get a bait pick here. But Draconis still sitting in the lane. Another 5,100 gold saved up, so getting closer and closer to that Savage Mace possibility. Bubbles has been doing his thing at the top lane. Obviously, Bubbles actually has a Storm Spear now too. The two tablets here on the Legion side, I stress how important those would be here for the Legion team, and so they have two now. One on Engineer and Nymphora. Yeah, things really are coming together very nicely here for Absolute Legends, actually.
Two things I'd like to point out regarding Nymphora this game. One, her ultimate, even when she's not using it, is still, you have to watch Draconis, they're still making him play a little bit more carefully, like it is. And then number two, you can actually use that ultimate, and I haven't really seen him do this, but I see other really advanced Nymphora players. I've seen Franzi do it a lot with Nymphora, etc. But if you use that ultimate, you can use it to pour deep into enemy territory and get wards off undetected, where you normally might not be able to place them, especially during certain phases of the game, and then you can just TP right on out. So it can be really useful.
Yeah, we definitely do see that. It's kind of funny to watch, but at the same time, it makes sense.
Kind of broken in that sense. It's a really good use of the skill.
It is. Savage Mace has finally been purchased by Draconis. You do see go straight to Kongor. Going to try to solo it somewhat, but being locked down initially and then quickly falling back. So again, this is maybe that Nymphora threat, if anything. They got some vision around, but knowing that Nymphora can always just be coming in, especially with the two heroes at this point, always scary. If anything, maybe waiting for the team to kind of regroup here. I kind of feel like the team left him, and they had a chance to actually maybe do it there, but.
Well, I don't think it's a bad idea from the pressure. I think their team fight's great. Play Goo in the river, never a bad spot without any creeps around. So definitely not a bad spot to shape up for this fight here. I know Luna's really far away right now. So is Silhouette.
Yeah,
it looks like they're just gonna. Well.
Yeah, Silhouette's way up here with. She doesn't have an illusion up or anything. I mean, yeah, they are really scared though. For some reason. Again, it's obviously suspected. It's easy for us to sit here and say that, but...
Well, yeah, they're all in fog, but, I just feel like right now they do have the team fight. Maybe they figure,
They're just being cautious. They made a mistake there at the bottom lane when they tried to push into the base. They don't want another mistake like that. I'm sure it's kind of on their mind. They are going to commit to it, though, and this is going to be easy.
It's kind of scary. Look at Cookies' gold again, man. 4K extra.
Jeez. Yeah, you're right. Wow. All the way back up there. But yeah, very easy Conqueror kill in the end, so the patience kind of pays off there. And now Draconis has another token of life. Again, with that Savage Mace this time, so that'll help big time. As far as surrounding him, I mean, there hasn't been too much else to really talk about as pickups. At least I know this.
Yeah. Cooldown dependency on AL, much less than Hellborn. Hellborn really relies on those ultimates, the big Tempest combo. So if you look at it in a way, if they let this go too late, I talked about AL having the 2 scaling late games. If they're able to do the whole thing where they might die, but they're able to buy back, sweep them out, and then push while cooldowns are up,
Yeah.
it could actually be looking in AL's favor the later this goes now. Now that it's sort of hitting that extreme late game point. So.
That's actually very true with the whole cooldown situation. And have there been any buybacks, by the way? Nope. There haven't been no
So
buybacks.
that's even more in their favor.
Yep. 4,600 gold now saved up on Monkey King. So I'm going to see another Doombringer, man. I know you didn't cast that game yesterday, but
I heard
holy
about
crap.
it, though. I heard about it.
That was such an awkward timing for the Doombringer, but
I'd expect to
always
see
fun
the
to see.
demonic finished up, I would say,
Yeah.
probably. If not, then just another mobility item. But
again, on the Hellborn side, oh, there you go. There's an item to talk about. Demonic does play on Plague Rider.
yeah.
Here. Even more armor for him, so. And of course for the whole team. Taking advantage of that.
Oh,
It looks like they are going to now, yeah, this is the timing it feels like for Pencils to make this push. Now their middle and bottom lane are getting counter pushed pretty heavily, honestly, by creep waves, so.
Right, and if they lose the fight, post haste may be picked up really quick by their heroes, counter push. Ooh,
And obviously an M4 on top of that, yeah.
And Amphora too, yeah.
Demonic is finished by Monkey King. He does purchase a Portal Key just picked up by Engineer too, so obviously doesn't have buyback on himself, but you know, you get a Portal Key, that's really good for him.
Yeah, that Amphora, man, that's another point. that Amphora ulti is going to be huge if they win this fight.
This is big right here. Remember now the Savage Mace on Draconis, so a little bit, definitely a difference maker, no doubt. Or Draconis, excuse me. I think it's an Amphora, but so just going to keep the creep lane pushed up as much as possible. Obviously, the Legion side continues to have pretty good presence themselves when it comes to creep clearing. But yeah, Amphora, the fact that she can port 2 people with her, you know, if the circumstance works out that way. Big news. Again, remember, Behemoth also jumped in last time on Amphora. Didn't even kill him right off the bat. And that was also, you know, not good news for the Hellborn team. So it's tough. I mean, you see it. The creep wave just gets annihilated. They don't have a barrier idol or anything like that. Even with a barrier idol, it might not make a big difference. So.
Yeah, and Wookiees has some mine set up on each side. Just a little bit of extra, something. They have to push 3 different sides now, man. By the way.
Yeah.
And their first push, I felt like, was the best, too. I felt like they had such a huge advantage, and they didn't. And then they came back after Savage and Mace, after Hellflower, after all these items were picked up. And they tried to do the same thing instead of just waiting for Savage.
Here we go, Behemoth jumping into the silhouette. Can they lock him down enough? Storm Spear going to be used right there. The Cataclysmic Assault going out from Draconis, but he's being locked down, and he will eventually fall. The Tempest ultimate going to lock down Monkey King in the meantime. Silhouette still barely alive. Silhouette man falling off the side. The Plague is best ground. Finally will go down. She's going to buy back immediately, though, as my guess. Draconis eventually does clean them up, though, with the Cataclysmic Assault as he does come back up. Silhouette buys back. Ports in. Hat-trick coming up for Cookies right there, but he is very low on life, sitting in the background. Down goes Bubbles right there. Draconis doing plenty of damage, but he will fall into the end to the buyback Silhouette. Now Plague Rider falling. Plague Rider and Draconis are still alive. Actually, so Draconis bought back right there. Plague Rider is going to get picked off, though, it looks like, with ease. So, of course, several buybacks right there. Actually, only the one from Silhouette, and then the one from Draconis. Quad kill coming out from Cookies, though. And it's feeling like Absolute Legends has control of this game all of a sudden.
Yeah, it does. And if Namphora survived there, man, we'd be seeing a base assault right now. Jeez. Tempest was not able to get a second ulti off. Like, his positioning was such that he was just taking enough damage after his first one I got interrupted. I think Monkey King jumped right onto him. They took him down before he get the double elemental void off, and they went pretty deep again. I mean, they went really hard for that Silhouette, but I don't think it's worth it just trying to go all in, initiating on him, especially when a hero like that's going to have buyback.
Yeah, again, it just seems like kind of forcing the issue. I mean, I don't think that was as much as the first time, but still, it's, you know, playing more in the back, but playing them more in the sense that we're going to react to you, if anything.
Yeah, I do think it was forcing it, though, because you look at the base tower, it was getting sieged down just fine. It looked like it was almost about to drop, and then they jumped the Silhouette. It's like, why not just take that free damage back up, let them jump into you, because if they jump into you, Tempest defensively at that choke point running in front of the tower, you know, if they're trying to chase down the Draconis that has a token, opportunity to land huge safe elemental voids right there in that choke point. So why not play defensively? Why not just siege the tower?
You're right. You are right. That's very true. And actually, Draconis is in some trouble here at the bottom lane. He's pushed up all by himself. Monkey King finds him. The Frost of Skull, of course, doing the work. He will split up with the Geometrist Bane, though, and he's going to go for a port out. Going to use a Blazing Flight away, and actually will be fine. So Draconis escaping a near-death instance right there. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Silhouette, that is going to be an illusion, I believe. Yes, the The illusion will die as he was able to port out in time. Got about half-life, but so both teams in a little bit of a scary spot there, but in the end, neither one necessarily coming out too big. And so now for Pencils, again, it's do you try it once again, but just keep in mind maybe they need to be a little bit more patient.
Well,
is the question. But
now the problem is, look at Cookies, man. I was actually thinking about it in the back of my head before he picked up the demonic. Like, what about a heart? What if he survives the elemental voids and then he's just so tanky that he can turn around on them? And he actually finished up his demonic, didn't go hard, but now he picked up the axe of the Malphite, and that could be crazy huge. I mean, he's going to be really tough to bring down with like 3,500 HP, 35 plus armor. It's going to be...
Look at him right here. Holy crap, he's diving in with Bubbles, actually. Off to the side and forward. They're porting on top of Behemoth, but it's right on top of Behemoth. Down goes N4 off the bat. Silhouette's holding her ground, though. We do see a Storm Spirit on a Tempest right there. He's trying to maybe get an ultimate off, but he's going to be Hellflowered. In comes Silhouette with the stun. Down goes Tempest, just like that. The damage is just so intense. Meanwhile, off to the side, Aluna did fall as well. So that was kind of an awkward initiation, but the N4 port in made it work well, very well for Absolute Legends. And now they're the ones that can be the aggressors here. They're going to start pounding into the base. The tower will fall. Luna can buy back. Tempest cannot, though. Although Restoration Stone, or Tempest can, excuse me. Restoration Stone is coming off Gudin right here, so we will have an ultimate. He does buy back, and here we go for the Hellborn team. Behemoth finishes block. There's Behemoth jumping in. Bubble's going to be locked down. Tempest in the background cannot portal key just yet. He's kind of running into the turret right here. Draconis is chasing. Can Tempest eventually get in there as they do finish off Bubbles is the big question. Tempest, yes, he will portal key. There's the ultimate, locking down Silhouette, and Silhouette will fall as a result of that. So well played there by Pablo in the end. Or not Pablo, but fine, but holy crap.
Right now, I think they should pressure the base, try to get him to force another buyback, because if they do that, then he has no buybacks left. I think that would be a very, very smart play for Hellborn to do right now, because that's one of the only windows that I think they can open in this game.
Well, Condor is not even up, so it's like, what other options really do you have?
Well, force the buyback and then pull back. Don't commit to the fight. Exactly. They don't have crazy lockdown, and I think Bubbles... Okay, Bubbles' ulti is up, and he can buy back, but besides, okay, he did buy back, but if they can force the Silhouette buyback, that is huge, and then just get out of there.
Monkey King is pushing the bottom lane in the meantime, so he's trying to do some counter pressure here. Obviously, Draconis does have a similar rage now. I think he might have actually just gotten that. And of course, that is a big pick up for him. And Engineer going to chop the mines on top of that, actually doing plenty of damage. Energy field coming out. Silhouette still has not bought back, by the way, but it might not be necessary. He finally buys back, actually. He's going to be joining the fight, most likely. Yes, he goes off to the side, actually, but Draconis using that similar rage. Going to heal back up. The Melee Rex will fall. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Monkey King did take out the Melee Rex as well. Plague Rider porting out. But you see down here, again, Monkey King taking out those racks. And now Silhouette's going to start chasing. Draconis is here. Tempest and Behemoth to support, though. And now Behemoth is going to go for the port out. He should be fine. Draconis, what is Draconis doing? Draconis just standing there. Whoa.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but he's okay now. He got back safely. That trade definitely, in spite of the racks dropping, that was Cookies salvaging it, but I don't actually think it was worth it because, I mean, they had to use the buyback on Silhouette, you know? If there was a way to get out of that fight where maybe they lose the racks, but now that Silhouette has no buyback, that just opens up another weakness in the Legion lineup. But before I talked about, okay, they can buy back, take advantage of those cooldowns in the late game, and then just push with everything down. Now that option is sort of removed.
Yeah.
Not sort of. I mean, it is removed. They're not buying more buybacks, so.
Yeah, obviously, Silhouette, you know, on this point now, just spindle your goal. She does buy an Axe of the Malphite right there, so similar rage for her as well. Going to be in the works, which again will be great. But look at that Monkey King, though. Speaking of him, man, 3,700 life now as a result of that.
Who expected him to take off like this, man? He was sitting on a Shrunken Head of Bulwark and nothing. And they have an insane farm on Hellborn. I mean, I felt very confident. You know, writing it off to like a 90-10 odds for Pencils, but
yeah. Well, again, you know, it is a case of
it was a throw, man.
Well, yeah. Again, it's you can say that the lack of patience definitely got to them. So you know, on paper, really, Pencils was in control, and you know, every reason to believe that. But you know, obviously, that's part of the game too. You know, it happens even to the best of the teams. We see that happen where you know, they might not make the best decisions at times, but. Top lane, Monkey King and Bubbles a little bit careful. They are going to fall back, though, and be more than fine. So we do have a crazy finish here. I mean, I assume that this might be the last match remaining, and we are actually running into the time of where the next round is supposed to be starting here. So things are, you know, pretty crazy in that sense, but obviously happens, and we got a great finish to what is game number 3, of course. AL taking on Pencils.
That's a very dangerous.
By the
pick
way,
there.
do you know if TDM ended up winning?
The game was very short, and from what I saw, TDM had the advantage early on. So I'm assuming that TDM won, but I actually don't know. But I think I would have heard more of a upset in the chat otherwise.
True.
So.
Well, if that I bring that up too, because actually the winner of this does play that. So I'm assuming if that is the case, it sounds like Trademark Esports did win that, and so the winner of that will then have to play Trademark Esports after this. So, kind of a crazy series here, and then go into facing the #1 team, obviously. But
yeah, well, plenty of warm up. Let's put it that way.
That's a good take on it. Well,
damn.
I mean, yeah. It's well, what else do you say about a game like this? It's just don't make mistakes. There you go.
Yeah, they need to kill Silhouette. They do.
Yeah. No buyback. That's the big thing.
Yeah. What about this whale of Monkey King right now? Oh man, 3,700 health. Insane armor, putting out pretty great damage in the end, just because he's Monkey King.
Yeah.
It's.
I kind of want to. I mean, you could argue too. Well, first off, getting post haste for one, then even using that last slot, thinking that you might not be getting a token of life, so just go, buy everything, obviously.
Doombringer.
And it's something. That is a time where maybe you could argue that could be a.
Well, he does a lot of damage with it because the elusive dash giving his auto attack damage for each one. But I mean, there's other options you could probably go that'd be safe. But yeah, it's something.
It is an option. Definitely an option for him. So, well, both teams obviously, especially in this case, 55.5 minutes in, where it is a very, very close game now. Where definitely either team can win it in the blink of an eye, as we see many times. They're going to play passive, and that's kind of what we're starting to see here more and more. Now Conqueror up, and actually here we go. Pencils goes right into it. There is a ward aside here placed by Maesty, as you can see, obviously, that gives AL the information. They are starting to react to it, but this goes back.
They're trying to actually do something this time instead of giving it up.
Yep. This goes back to what you talked, though. It seems like this is a good positioning here for Pencils if they don't get completely initiated on, obviously, and fall apart right off the bat, but. Well, Conqueror is going to stay alive for now. Monkey King charging in, and here we go. They want to initiate. Oh, the tree grapple missing because of the Geometer's being split up. Monkey King still going balls to the wall again. He's plenty tanky, so he's not too worried. And he still wants to chase. Shrunken activated. Portal key away, though, from Tempest. Meanwhile, over here, actually, Behemoth did jump in on an M4, trying to lock him down. Fisher's not going to come down. M4 will barely stay alive, actually, with a great heal at the last second. Energy field is down, and Cataclysmic Assault off to the side from Draconis. He's charging in, but Behemoth and Aluna are going to fall. This fight is way too spread out here for Pencils right now. The Tempest ultimate actually going to be pretty big right there. The Plague it with doesn't bounce, however. Draconis standing his ground in the midst of all of them, trying to finish them off right here. Tempest does have another ultimate. Can he get it off? No, he can't. Monkey King takes him out. The Similar Rage going to be activated right here. Draconis being locked down. The Savage Mace doing work. Behemoth buys back. He jumps back in. Gets going to Engineer him. Trying to assist onto the Silhouette. Plague Winter falls. Aluna comes back into the ball. Draconis, the life still will fall. Got Silhouette killed though first. What a crazy finish here to this fight. Unbelievable. Behemoth jumping in.
Buy back and push with your team. The Silhouette is dead. Come on.
70 seconds.
Go.
You're right. I mean, they need to. This is the time. You got to take advantage of times like this. He's not buying back, though, and they are going to get Conqueror, however. So
yeah, okay. It's okay for them to do this. It is.
Yeah.
I think they could have done a lot of work pushing into the base now with Silhouette dead. Maybe they just don't know he bought back twice. Maybe this is not their approach. This is a safe and steady approach. That fight seemed like it went horribly for Pencils.
It did.
In positioning and everything, Nymphora surviving because of some missed attacks. It's like just went horribly, and they still came out ahead.
Yeah.
They still came out ahead.
Well, the buybacks, of course, the biggest deal right there. And you look at the buyback situation right now. Actually, Monkey King running into Behemoth. He's going to portal key away, though. Now Monkey King giving away his position, but not going to be the biggest deal. But yeah, the buybacks, again, you look at the situation now after that fight, and yes, the Silhouette is out of buybacks, but guess what? Draconis is now, too. Granted, he has a token of life here. And actually, Aluna might get picked off. Oh, but Monkey King going aggressive. Poured in from Nymphora, and here we go. Draconis flying in the energy field. In jumps Behemoth with a shockwave. He goes to the energy field again. Still being locked up. Finally splitting up. Similar Rage is going to be activated. Yes, it is. The Cataclysmic Assault will take out Nymphora. Monkey King just standing his ground. Engineer barely staying alive. Behemoth jumps back in. They're going to use a stomp. We do see the assassin shot on Monkey King, by the way, but now he's going to try to get away with it. Oh, actually takes out Behemoth right there. They're trying to chase down Draconis in the background. Again, he has a token of life, remember, and now he's going to fly away with that blazing fly, but the chase is on. Silhouette obviously here as well. Wants to chase. Bubbles in the foreground. Monkey King will jump in, but Behemoth is back. The fissure son in the background. Monkey King going to be locked down, and Monkey King will fall. Dracona's going down as well, but again, Dracona's going to come back up, unlike Monkey King. And now Silhouette's in trouble. This is going to be huge, actually, if they can catch Silhouette. She will port with the illusion, but it's not going to be enough. The stomp comes out. She has the tree grapple porting away. Will this chase be enough in the end? The shell serve canceling portal keys, perhaps. There's the portal key from Silhouette. Can they chase her down? Oh, it looks like she is going to survive. Monkey King bought back, by the way. He's coming back. And actually, Behemoth needs to be careful here. Okay, random fissure stun coming out. And actually now going to be jumped himself. Shrunken Egg going off. Oh, geez, it just doesn't stop. Tempest is here. He does have not an ultimate to go, actually, in 10 seconds. Behemoth will be locked down, and he will fall. Dracona's way up here. He actually flies on by. So Behemoth kind of silly at the end. But, man, this game just continues to get crazier and crazier.
I need to know, did Zepro have his the fissure ability up earlier when he was sunlocking the Silhouette and Silhouette left away right there above the secret shop, outside the Hellborn base? Did he have fissure up? Was he just staggering the stuns too long? Did he have fissure up in time? Did he have changed it?
I don't think he did. I mean, if anything, you would have figured he would have used it after she ported. I mean, I really don't think he did.
It was late. He missed because she ported.
Maybe he did. Again, I didn't notice that.
If it was up, that was a huge misplay. Allowed Silhouette to survive and is putting them in not great spot here. If not, oh well, he tried his best. But that was really intense, man. I was freaking out that fight.
Behemoth is up in 25 seconds. No buyback though. The Tempest ultimate, the Plague Rider ultimate on top of that. Monkey King's dropping as well as everyone else. Engineer falling in the background. He's going to take a 4 second step for Balloon. Draconis with the Cataclysmic Assault, but Monkey King staying alive, going back in. Tempest will fall. The Similar Rage is going at it. Silhouette though, she's the one now on the run. The Similar Rage working better for Draconis. The Dragon Flame, one run of attack, maybe. No, the Tree Grapple stuns the Draconis. The Seal Sun on top of that. What support from Meisty there at the end from Nymphora. Unbelievable. Bubbles ports away. And now Behemoth is back up. Oh, man. Both teams just continuing to just barely stay in this. Draconis now in some trouble. And Draconis may get picked off, actually. He doesn't have a Similar Rage for 5 seconds. Is it going to be enough in time? 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Yes, they will kill Draconis. And that might be the GG. That will probably do it right there.
Yeah, Draconis can't get back up. The Shroud doing work there on Monkey King, man. Oh.
Behemoth jumping in. I'm not sure about that.
Man, they needed to focus Silhouette. I mean, they had him in the Elemental Void. Their attacks were just staggered on all the heroes in it. If they were all focusing Silhouette, being like, oh, she doesn't have buyback, we gotta kill her, and that was their point, I think they would have came out ahead, man.
Yeah. Oh, nice Storm Spirit right there. Monkey King will survive. Silhouette in the foreground again. Without Draconis, a damage threat not necessarily there, although actually Silhouette is going to fall. Oh, what is going on?
All right, yeah, we wrote it off too early, man. They were low enough. Hellborn had enough fight.
What? No, that was throw, though. What are you doing? You're diving so far. The game should be over right now, and it's not. Oh, my gosh.
Come on.
62 minutes in now. I mean, that means kills will still continue to happen, of course, and you're right. We wrote it off too early, and obviously that's because of I'm not sure what Silhouette was doing all the way up there. Whether she just somehow got caught up, I don't know. But okay, they are going to come back in though. They will finish off the middle. Draconis is up in 3 seconds. Behemoth at 14. Invulnerability coming out, of course. Plague Rider needs to be careful. Going to be fine right there. Here comes Draconis, though. And this is the timing. Tempest will jump in. He doesn't have an ultimate, obviously. So not necessarily a threat in that sense. They did get the melee racks, though. And now Engineer might get picked off, actually, if he can't get away. Energy field going up. But yeah, just too much damage. Monkey King jumping back in. But needs to get the hell on out of there. So I believe that's how it'll finish.
Yeah.
So, still, of course, AL in a great spot. Actually.
You see what I saw?
Yep, Harkons.
Nice. I like it. Kent. I'm honestly just 100% approval. We talked about the armor bot coming out from Plague Rider. Yeah, it'll be okay, but I don't think Hellflower here on Tempest, man. I saw him sitting on that pool of gold for a while now. We obviously needed the buybacks, but here's the Hellflower. If they have, they need to kill Silhouette. They need to kill Silhouette. They've had the opportunity multiple times now, and he just keeps getting away with barely any health.
Yeah. Look at how many level 25s we have, by the way. Draconis, Plague Rider, Silhouette, Monkey King, Bubbles. Tempest is level 24. I mean, this is just turning out to be truly an epic game. I mean, sure, let's be honest, not the most beautiful play by any means on both sides. I mean, both sides have definitely had their flaws and some mistakes for sure, but hey, that's what makes these for these games at the same time. So
for a while, there was a lot of really nice tactical, elegant play coming out.
Oh yeah,
I thought, and especially out of Pencils, this game, they were really, taking control. But, whew.
Yep. So the cooldowns. Really stress this earlier, it still stands true, of course. I mean, the cooldown's the biggest factor right now, more so for Pencils. Look at the buyback situation, by the way. Luna's literally the only person with a buyback available here on the Hellborn side. Dracona's porting out, thank God for him, because there was definitely some danger coming there. It's going to be fine. Dracona said he buy anything new, by the way. He does have he's had that snake bracelet for a little bit, so he's working on a wing bow, actually, as his final pickup here on top of the post haste. So, he will have some solid evasion and some more, damage in general. Okay, King Pluto just purchased a Acolyte staff, so I guess he didn't actually have enough for the Harkons just yet.
Other thing, Harkins, of course, good against the Void Talisman on Luna. It'll just pretty much one-shot her if she activates it.
Yeah.
Not one-shot, she has a lot of life, but you get the idea.
65 minutes now, and I didn't think we would come to this, but another Kongor attempt could be very possible right now. As far as waiting for another one, this will be the 4th Kongor here. Not often we get to this point, especially nowadays.
Harkins, this is exciting. I cannot wait for this fight. I like it. I like it. I want to see it, though.
Well, I mean, this is also, let's be honest, this is a time where you could argue Doombringers. Because the situations like this, especially on Draconis, sure. I mean, I don't know what you would get rid of, but maybe not on that side, but it's possible. It's possible.
Snake bracelet, I guess. Go for it. Go all in. Catch him in that big elemental void. Hope you can drop him as quick as possible.
Monkey King obviously finished the Ganjiro. He's still sitting on the Ghost March. There's no post haste for him just yet. But again, especially with the NIM4, which we've seen several times come into play as expected in games like this. Big for the Legion team. NIM4 continue to farm in the middle lane. Obviously, him and Engineer just been doing their support thing. Top lane, we might have a little bit of push up here. King Plato pushing up on the Silhouette. Maybe trying to get a reaction out of Pencils. He does have the illusion way down here ready to go. By the way, how many spider mines are here? Holy crap. There's a lot of spider mines down here near the Legion base. There's 8 spider mines at 300 damage apiece. That's 2,400 damage.
It's a little insurance, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, where?
Somebody.
Is it in the Legion?
It's right above the Legion top tower, up in this hill right here on the right hand side, under the statue.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, in case somebody goes there. Anywho, yeah, I really think Kongor is going to be the focus of attention here for both teams at this point. Waiting for that one with Kongor to come up and go for the kill on him. So keep our eye on that. Not much else to say in a game like this. Again, I think it's safe to assume at this point, I don't have the brackets in front of me, but this is probably the last game right now.
Yeah, I'm just... it is the kind of thing they do need. If they kill the Silhouette, there is always a chance in these fights. If AL plays intelligently here, Monkey King has a lot of buyback. Silhouette, obviously a beautiful split pusher. They can sort of just take the game by slowly whittling them down, I think, at this point. But it is...
Man, it should have been over, I think is what you're trying to say.
I'm just sort of...
It already should have been over, yeah.
I'm nervous watching this right now. I'm just...
Yeah. Because again, games like this, we see it all the time. It literally just will be over in the blink of an eye. Like a fight, somebody will get picked off, they'll die, it'll be over. Wingbow finished on
infiltrating the enemy base.
Yeah. Oh, he actually might come to tower.
Sneaky little monkey. He just
Cookies.
came in and...
Cookies taking it out. Cookies does have one buyback left, so he is, of course, pulling up gold for that.
And he's also quite stacked on items. You could rebuy Shrunken Head, I suppose.
Sure. All right, so Kongor is back up. And we'll look at this. Absolute Legend is starting to do a little bit. Monkey King, of course, here. Just, if anything, maybe try to bait out the Hellborn team to make a move.
That's a lot about their confidence in this game, that they're actually beating the aggressors on Kongor now, so...
He's doing plenty of damage. I mean, he's tanking it obviously very well. He's doing plenty of damage, but it's starting to fall back now. The Hellborn team's starting to make their way over, so again, not going to really go for. But yeah, you're right. It shows their confidence that They almost want to bring the fight to them. Draconis, that's an illusion. So I'm trying to bait out something, but I think they'll realize pretty quickly it's just an illusion. Here comes another one. Let's see, will they fall for it again? Nope. It's just going to stand its ground. But the Hellborn team is trying to be sneaky around the side, maybe catch somebody. You got a Loon over here and the rest to follow. Again, Monkey King is just going to constantly go back in to Kongor and slowly dwindle him down here. Hellborn team grouped up, though. The only one not with them currently is Plague Rudder, who's off to the side. But obviously, with the racks both at the bottom and the middle being down, they do have to be concerned about that, too. So it's slowly happening here on Kongor, but it is happening nonetheless. And actually, Silhouette with a double damage. Yes, a Silhouette with a double damage, and there you go. There's Kongor.
Now with the token, man, he's dropping the PK for the token, as far as I know. I would assume so, yep.
Bananas right there. Ouch.
That is a heavy advantage going into this fight now. Silhouette has no fear in sieging these racks.
You do have that double Tempest Ultimate threat still. Sheepstick picked up on Bubbles right there. He's having it delivered at least. He's the one that also got the bananas too. So, rebind the Shrunken Head of Monkey King too. That's the gold for it.
Means he has no buyback now, but they're not going to get caught. He'll probably get it from killing a couple creep camps and maybe creep wave and then try to push into this base here.
Yeah. So, again, I keep kind of referring to this is probably the last match going on in the round, and because actually the other rounds can't start until this one is actually finished, from my understanding. So
everyone's sitting here just like,
all the other teams are like, just finish already.
Push, you got it.
Somebody win, for Christ's sake.
Well,
70 minutes
we thought one team had it before. And I would say they had even more convincing lead than what AL has now, so...
Yeah, Pencils has had their opportunities, and both these teams have had several opportunities now. So here we go, though. Monkey King pushing in right here. Is this perhaps the moment for them to make this game officially over here? Again, Monkey King leading the way. Silhouette, obviously, with that token of life. Remember the Harkon's pickup that she got recently, too. Kind of going on the front lines here. Playing a little bit... the illusion going to be bursted down right there. So the other one, too. And going to fall back for now. So again, not really forcing the issue. They do have the middle and the bottom pushing up in their favor. So really going to play the game of patience here. Is absolute legends. You see right there the potential of Monkey King and how he can just clear up his creep waves in an instant. So not too worried about getting pushed back, of course. Yep, playing the patience game, especially that bottom lane. You look at it coming. It's going to start breaking into the base, and that will force Pencils to react to it somewhat, whether it's reacting to that or jumping in themselves. But
it's their moment.
Comet goes down. Monkey King once again going elusive.
Geo's also down on Draconis. I mean, just try to hold back the wave a little bit. But in the end, it just provides a window for AL to sort of make this
Monkey King taking plenty of damage right there. The Hellflower was even applied, but he will survive, staying at just about half-life. Shows you how tanky he really is.
Yeah, pretty dirty, too, that Behemoth coming from behind with a potential fissure block.
Oh, here we go. Engineer jumping in with the energy field. Tempest with the nice kicks down, though. Tempest push forward. The shockwave in the background, but Tempest will fall. He has no buyback, so no ultimates from him. Engineer going to fall in the meantime. Monkey King jumping around. Draconis holding his ground, trying to use that cataclysmic assault, but it's not going to matter. It looks like Absolute Legends will finally push through. GG well plays are called, and AL will take game number 3, and as a result, they will take the series. Boy, oh boy, what a crazy game indeed coming out.
Yeah, they are excited, man. And I gotta tell you, if I was in their shoes, I would be pumped up as well, because what a comeback.
That was something. Yeah, again, I mean, you're right. Comeback indeed. Pencils, no doubt, had their opportunities in that game. The team fight was there. It all goes back to that bottom push. They got a little bit ahead of themselves. They initiated when really it was kind of an awkward moment. They tried to force the issue, as we put it, and didn't work out. So, you know, small mistakes like that definitely add up and allowed the opportunity for Absolute Legends to eventually come back there. I mean, that was a crazy game, though. What a finish to the series here. What a finish indeed. So, again, a long game. We talked about plenty of it, but don't want to take too much time here, as we are going to be taking a little bit of a break here. But obviously, we will be coming back with our next round of the round of 8 here, of course, for HoN Tour, cycle number 6, the Diamond Division. So, actually, do we want to let's take a quick look at the brackets while I say that. Here, I got them on my screen right now. So, how things did shape up in the end. So, TDM did take out TFR 2-1. Again, AL moving on as well, so they'll play TDM. You got Q Squad and Lion Esports Club moving on. Stay Green and Team Mistral. And then Complexity and TT Esports are your next round matchups. So we got to choose from one of those. We'll see. From the losers bracket, again, those are important matches down there because if you lose there in that first round of the losers bracket, you're going back to gold. You're going to gold. So you got those matchups too. Going to be a blast. But Emperor, any final words before we go into a break here?
No, I was just thinking a lot about the game, but nothing really I haven't went over before. I was just seeing where it all went wrong, different item pickups in my head, all that. I was thinking about the Geos pickup on Draconis instead of a Savage Mace, a bunch of little things here and there, but really nothing much else to add.
Definitely. All right. With that said, we are going to go into a break here again. Might be a little bit longer than our usual game breaks, but we are running late here and now starting round number 2, so don't want to be too long. The stream, of course, will stay on, so sit tight, guys. Grab a snack, go use the restroom, but come back because we will have a round of 8 matchup coming at you. Stay tuned. Coming up next.